Hey Pisces, welcome to Black Star Tarot. This is your monthly love reading. So take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Remember to like and subscribe if you like it. If you don't, okay, I get it. Anyway. All right. Spirit messages we have for Pisces. Give it to us straight. All right, let's go, y'all. What do we have for Pisces? I would like one card, Spirit, if that's okay. Ooh, you got good luck. I like that. You have the 4-leaf clover. So something's changing around in the love department for you. That is beautiful to see. Let's find out. Or maybe this is what you want. Maybe you want something to change, right? You want some good luck. Maybe things been a little cray-cray. I don't know. Oh, you feel stuck. That's okay. All right. So you kind of stand to yourself. That is okay. All right. So I feel like you guys want some change, you know, and maybe you feel like you're stuck. So you could be holding back, okay, from relationships right now. Okay. Maybe you're trying to work on other things. Maybe you're trying to grow. Maybe you're trying to expand. But I just feel like, you know, you want something to change here when it comes to your relationships or whatever it is that you love. Okay, so we have a storm brewing, and we have, this showed up twice, long distance trip. Okay, I seen it earlier. It was trying to come out, like it flipped over, but it didn't flip out. All right, so some of you are making plans. Okay, maybe you're traveling, you know, to see somebody. Maybe whoever you're dealing with, maybe they're stuck somewhere. You could be going, you know, to help them. Okay, maybe they got into some trouble, you know, something of that nature. Okay, that is possible. You know, there's something here that may require some of you to take a trip to go see somebody, you know, you love. And for others of you, your person could possibly be at a distance from you. Maybe that's a problem. Okay, maybe it's preventing you from seeing this person, reaching out to them, things like that. Maybe they're moving, because I do feel like somebody's making some plans here. So somebody could be planning to move. Somebody could be planning to relocate. Maybe it's to be closer to your person. I don't know. So let's see what else we have here. Okay, somebody's definitely walking away though. Someone's leaving because this plane is going somewhere. So some of you could be leaving one situation, going to another. This is not the deck I want. Put that back. Let's see what else. So what else you have here, Pisces? Who did I do before you? I did Scorpio before you. Yes. Scorpio always into something. All right. Anyway. All right. So Pisces. All right. So we have mirroring shared feelings and reflection. So some of you, maybe you have a twin flame. Okay, maybe things aren't moving. All right, so it says twin flame, so that means that there is one. Okay, so there's someone that you're close to, somebody that you probably have had some cycles with. Okay, and I feel that some of you may be wanting something to change, like something stopped, like your relationship is stuck right now. It's not really moving. Okay, you could be saying to yourself, for someone this is upsetting. Okay, and again, there could be some distance between, you know, you and your person. Like somebody's trying to escape something here though. Okay, because you know, I kind of feel that with that plane. Like I feel like someone's escaping something, trying to avoid something, and or even pushing themselves away. Okay, Pisces. So whether this is you or them, okay, someone is like, you know, purposely pushing themselves away because that plane is going somewhere, and I feel like it's trying to escape. Okay, so you may be trying to avoid a storm, rather emotionally. Okay, so you could be purposely holding yourself back. I mean, check it out. You got withholding and you got stuck, you know, on the table. However, the reason why you stuck, you know, is because you're dealing with a flame. All right, you guys are mirroring each other. Okay, you know, you guys share energy. All right, so whatever you doing, they doing right now. So if you are purposely trying to escape, or you're pushing yourself away from them, they are doing the same thing to you. Okay, they're avoiding, you know, contact. You know, they kind of don't care whether that's true or not. But there is just someone who is purposely pushing themselves away. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that was a mouthful, Pisces. Let's see what else you got. Ooh, I made a mess. Okay. Not perfect at this. All right. Okay. All right, let's deal with this twin flame because it's crazy. What in the world? Okay, so we have apology. And look, it says distance, separation, space, and blockage. Well, if this isn't like a actual apology, like, hey, I'm sorry, I feel that your person wants to, you know, maybe open up to you. Okay, maybe they want to say they're sorry. Maybe they want to say they're sorry because they, you know, are purposely separating themselves from you, vice versa, right? Reverse the roles, take it as it resonates. You know, I'm not coming at you, Pisces, but, you know, I don't know. I don't see who is who. However, somebody wants to return that we already know, okay? But someone's purposely holding themselves back, okay? Somebody, I don't know, I just feel like somebody misses somebody, all in all, okay? They don't like the separation. They don't like the space, and they don't like the fact that they're blocking themselves from you, or you them, right? But you are, so maybe they're sorry. Maybe you're sorry. Oh, we have pain. Uh-oh. So there's a caution, right? Even though there's, with this caution, I know there's one of you wanting a second chance, of course, because you're mirroring each other, right? And if someone wants forgiveness and they want to return, right, I guess there were, you know, the other person would be cautious, because twin flames sometimes, like, they cause pain, right? I'll say this 1,000 times. Like, twin flames are bringing one of the two. They're bringing a lesson or blessing to your life, okay? So if you got some stuff that you still need to learn, or they got some stuff they still need to learn, then there's going to be pain, okay? There's going to be somebody being afraid to take a risk here because they don't, you know, want to get hurt again, even though they want a second chance, period, right? Someone wants a reconciliation, period, right? Because we have that Clover card, like, they want some type of change. They want it, right? There's another opportunity. Someone wants to make amends, period. But they probably won't, right? I'm glad this boundaries card came out, because this is what I'm talking about. Like, even though they want to, they limit themselves, right? They want to say they're sorry, they want to come back, they want to talk to you, you want to talk to them, or maybe it's just them, who the hell knows? But nope, we got these walls up. Matter of fact, not only did somebody put a boundary lines up, they use barbed wire. They didn't even have the decency to put up a wall for these boundaries. This card is using barbed wire. I think that's what it's called. That's crazy, right? Because, you know, you don't want to be hurt, right? They don't want to be hurt, right? But somebody got their boundaries up to be like, look, you're not gonna hurt me again. You cross those boundaries, you're gonna feel it. So it's, you know, that was the pain. Like, just think about that. Look at that card of pain, and then look at that barbed wire. Like, somebody's been hurt before, and they don't want to get hurt again, and they refuse to get hurt again. So whether this is you or them, I don't know, maybe it's both of you, but, you know, you've pretty much drawn a line. Like, you've accepted your final straw, or they've accepted their final straw, but somebody here is overwhelmed, and they have clearly set their limits when it comes to love and relationships, right? So I feel personally a struggle. I'm just saying. Right, exactly. Only you. You and your person are attached to each other, period. Like, go ahead and try to escape, right? Some of you miss those good times. You miss the exciting conversations. You miss all the places that you went to. Like, you literally have fun with this person in some way, right? You know, if you crave them, then that means there's something that you enjoyed. Yeah. All right. And we have sorrow. So I guess, you know, in this, there has also been loss, okay? And I see it here. All right, I see it here. No, somebody didn't put this barbed wire up for no reason. You know, there is something between the two of you that has caused a little heartache, a little sorrow, but yet there's still someone hoping, manifesting, and even expecting to have someone, okay? I'm just seeing what I feel. All right, I think we did this deck, didn't we? We did not. We did not? All right, I guess not. I lost track. Okay, wait, did I? Let's find out. Oh, this don't belong in here. That's why. Oh, it looks different. Okay, so let's get a couple more cards. I ain't gonna hold you here too long, but I think the last love reading was like 10 minutes. I was just like, I'm done. So I figured I would go a little bit more in depth. You get some messages for others. All right, messages for Pisces. We'll just get a few of these. So we have third party and we have separation. So during the separation, right, you know, your person have had basically other communication, other offers, right? Third party means more people, okay? So you could currently be focusing on something outside of this relationship, Pisces, you know, that's very well possible. You know, with third party, that often, at least I look at it as like the Three of Pentacles, okay? You know, you could be collaborating, you could be trying to expand yourself, you know, you could be doing other things during this whole process, okay? But for others of you, during this separation, the time that, you know, you may have been separated because someone's got this distance, you know, during the times you've been separated, they've been seeing other people, or this is you've been seeing other people, right? They've had, or at least they've, you know, you guys have had, you know, other offers, okay? You or your person, I don't know, What else? And then we'll be out, So ascending, so again, like I feel like you guys have, like there's been together walking away, right? But I feel that the thing that you share with this person is divinely connected, for one, and you're definitely mirroring each other, right? I feel like there are, you know, times where, you know, you think about that, or they think about that, like they think they may sit and may contemplate on, say, the conversations you've had, the knowledge that you've learned, like there's growth that has happened, right? And I feel like that's okay, because I do see communication here, because that ascending card, I just feel like there's growth that is coming in the future in reference to, you know, your person. I feel like those barriers at some point will finally come down, okay? Somebody can stop numbing their feelings, and they'll be able to, you know, to open up, you know, to like that fun place again, that inner child where you were able to, you know, release yourself, you know, allow yourself to be authentic, you know, with your person. So it's unfortunate that, you know, this dynamic is kind of stuck, but it's just going through a cycle, to be honest, right? It hasn't come to a conclusion, you know, of any kind. I feel like the grief and the sorrow will go away. I just feel like this kind of takes time. So if, you know, you've been wondering if you and your person will get back together again, you know, I say yes. I just feel that it's going to take patience, and you may not know when this is going to be, but, you know, you're devoted to the person. So you let your person work on their shadow work, okay? I do feel like in timing, there'll be a reconciliation, because, again, I feel like you guys are mirroring each other. So right now, this is, you know, little small games here, right? Somebody could be, you know, feeling like you feel the vibes, Pisces, with your person. You feel the vibes. I feel like right now you're just trying your damnedest to ignore it, or this is your person. So I get it. So let's get a couple of tarot cards, and then I'll let you guys go with one final oracle card. So let's see. Ooh, we'll take it. Let me get my hands together here. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups. So there's the distance, okay? All right, you guys have, you know, there's a, you kind of, you know, may have walked away to think about yourself, Pisces, or maybe they've stepped away, you know, to think about, you know, themselves, but somebody has, you know, walked away, like I said earlier, you know, walking away. And a lot of this time, there's been, one, other relationships, two, you know, a lot of self-discovery. Okay, there is somebody here that had to withdraw from this situation. They just jumped ship and just abandoned it, and they literally, you know, went to work. Okay, they just decided to start over, or try to. All right, what else for Pisces? Oh, these cards don't want to come out, y'all. All right, I'm about to pick them in a minute. I ain't waiting all day. Okay. All right, you win. All right, so we have the Star. All right, so yeah, like I said, I do feel like it's going to work out. Okay, the Star brings good things, right? Let's see, what does the Star bring? It brings blessings. It brings promise. It brings hope, healing, right? It brings beauty, you know, into your life. All right, so I like everything about the Star, right? So I, like I said before, I do see a light at the end of the tunnel, right? I see it on that ascending card. You know, your person could be hoping that there is a day when you guys may be able to, you know, share this experience again. I don't know, right? Some of you could be interested in an Aquarius. This is Aquarius, so some of you could be dealing with Aquarius. So funny, Aquarius shows up a lot, you know, in your guys' readings, or at least readings that I've done. So, I like the Star because this means that no matter what, no matter which way this goes, you guys will have healing, okay? Bottom line. So with or without them, you harvest the energy of the Star, all right? And so that means that, you know, things are going to get better. You're going to get a wish here, okay, Pisces? And maybe it's communication. Maybe you want to hear from this person. Maybe you want to talk to them. Maybe you want to open up lines of communication. Maybe you want to drop the boundaries, okay? You want to pull back the line. I don't know. So this is what I have for you for this month. I have your twin flame, yo. All right, guys, thank you. I hope it resonated. If it did, remember to like and subscribe so I can grow this thinking channel. All right, thank you. See you in the next video.